Hi, it's Sam, creator of Blood and Iron, the Unreal Engine Grand Strategy project. This is a mini devlog to show off large swathes of the map which has recently been completed, consisting of the vast majority of Asia, essentially tripling the size of the map, with 101 new countries and close to 1,000 new provinces. We'll walk through the new additions to the map region by region. First and largest is the Indian subcontinent, currently being dominated by the British East India Company with their many princely state puppets. All of the major princes are represented in the game, including the Mughals, who have definitely seen better days. A couple of minor princes were merged, particularly in Gujarat and Orissa, where there were many would-be sub-pixel nations, with these being merged to form playable smaller nations. I plan to make most of the princely states playable by allowing them to be diplomatically, economically, or with low-intensity wars to form regional agencies, whilst being influenced by the British. Most of these will be based on the historical agencies, such as the Rajputana and the Central Indian Agency, which will also be able to be formed by the British in the mid to late game. One of the difficulties with creating India was to ask the question, what is a culture, with many different classes, castes, languages and traditions being shared between them. I decided to use semi-regional cultures for the Indo-Aryan north and linguistic borders for the Dravidian south. This matches a lot of maps which split based on language groups and region, as caste-based culture groups don't make sense as pop classes are a thing. For instance, Rajput is a class, but they only make up a couple % in a specific region, whilst Rajasthani is a culture which encompasses most of the Hindus in the region. However, most of the diversity in this region is religious. Whilst the map mode may only show a few provinces with a plurality, pretty much every province has at least another religion present, with Christians, Hindus, Jains, Sikhs, Buddhists, animists and Muslims all present. But even though they may only make up a couple of % in size, this amounts to be millions of people due to the population density of the region. Persia under the Qajar Empire has also been completed, with this nation having numerous subjects and cultures within its borders, with these subjects ranging from Kurdish tribes in the east and west, Bedouins in the south, but also their backed Herat government in Afghanistan, which they will have to fight to defend against the British and Afghanis. Moving north, we have Central Asia, being split between various khanates and hordes, as well as the big green blob in the north. Now before anyone points this out, the RLC is currently in its state after Nikita Khrushchev decided to drink it all. This will be fixed at a later date when I implement dynamic sea land tiles. Like usual, if you see any other errors or have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. And subscribe if you want to see more. Going further north is Siberia, which has a mixture of Russians in the central strip which wraps around China, as well as various Siberian and Turkic tribes in the north. Part of what helped me to make the area of this map so quickly was the addition of the fill tool in the province painter. I used the flood fill algorithm with a render target buffer to limit GPU memory, using this tool to massively speed up development time. This was particularly important in Siberia and Central Asia, where there are vast expanses of emptiness and decently sharp borders. This also helps me implement pops into the provinces, as their borders better reflect those of where censuses were held. Moving south, we then arrive to by far the most populous country of the era, the Qing Empire. They start with various administrative puppets such as Xinjiang, Inner and Outer Mongolia, Manchuria, Qinghai, Yuan, and influence over Tibet. By far the largest culture is the Han. Whilst in the south we have various cultures like the Cantonese and Min Chinese, as well as the Hakka, who if you know anything about Chinese history are very important for this era. I've also added loads of tiny treaty port provinces, both historical and hypothetical, as well as multiple provinces for Hong Kong to simulate its growth over time. It was very important to implement Asia, and in particular China, before I did any economic or trade related mechanics. As in Victoria, as some of you might know, as soon as China becomes westernized, the market crashes for the rest of the game, so designing around this was important. Further east we have Korea and Japan. Both these nations are incredibly homogeneous, both religiously and culturally, and have a very high literacy rate compared to the rest of Asia. Korea, whilst being unified, starts under heavy influence from the Qing, whilst Japan is split under 9 daimyos under the Tokugawa shogun. In actuality, there were several hundred of these, but I merged them into general regions inspired by the Victoria 2 mod GFN. However, I've added a lot more provinces and created more accurate boundaries between them for more internal border gore. I've been asked by a lot of people when I'm going to make a Discord, and I've been playing around with making one in my old 2FPS server. But truth be told, I'm currently unable to both develop, work, go to uni, and moderate the server all at once. So I will make one, just give me a bit more time to implement more features. Thanks so much for watching, your support does me the most, have a fantastic day.